So now let's understand, based on the Chaitanya Charitamrita, what is the flow of the nectar, based on the different, the Chaitanya Charitamrita is divided into 3 khandas. There's the Adi Leela, there's the Madhya Leela, and there's the Antya Leela. So let us see in detail what is the Adi Leela comprising of. Next slide, please.
The Adi Leela, as it says, that it has the first 1 to 12 chapters. They are the invocation. They're talking about, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. He prays for the blessings and all of that. He invokes respect to all the great devotees. 12 chapters dedicated to just glorifying, because he was completely considering himself unqualified. He said, only by the blessings of these great devotees and acharyas can I write. So first 12 chapters just glorifying all the devotees. Then 13, 14, he describes the appearance of Nimai and all his childhood pastimes in Navadvip.
So again, we should understand that, what Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur wrote in 4 volumes of the Chaitanya Bhagavata is covered in 2 chapters in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So when we come to this particular section of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we will also refer in detail to Vrindavan Das Thakur's work, so that we can get a detailed insight into the beautiful, the mesmerizing, the childhood pastimes of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu.
And then the next 2 chapters, 15th and 16th, is about education. How Nimai, he receives some life lessons when his brother Vishwambhar leaves his home. His father, Sri Jagannath Mishra, passes away, and then he begins his formal education. Before that, Nimai was not interested in reading anything, in studying anything. He was saying why? He would just keep playing, he would do naughty things. But then he became serious in his studies. And then chapter 17 talks about his transformation, how he received initiation from Srila Ishwara Puri. He's transformed into a devotional ecstasy. And then he started his mission of congregational chanting of the holy names. So this is the 17 chapters.
So from there we come to the Madhya Leela, chapters 1 to 6. There is talking about the renunciation of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu accepting sannyas. And then again comes the propagation, how Lord Chaitanya, he propagated the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Mahaprabhu moving to Jagannath Puri. And then Madhya Leela, chapter 16 to 18, is talking about how, how Mahaprabhu actually visits Sri Vrindavan Dham, how Lord Chaitanya visits Vrindavan Dham finally. In Madhya Leela chapter 16 to 18 is what we talk about that. And then in Madhya Leela chapters 19 to 25, he talks about, how before returning to Jagannath Puri, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he instructs Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami and instructs them to write the books, of the bhakti, of different bhaktis, literatures, and also to establish the temples of the Goswamis, in Vrindavan, to re-excavate the lost pastime places of Sri Radha and Krishna. So this was his personal instructions to the Goswamis, and detailed, what is written in the Hari Bhakti Vilas, in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by these Goswamis, Rupa and Sanatan, is being taught by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in these few chapters of the Madhya Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Next slide, please. And then we come to the Antya Leela,
where Antya Leela, the first 13 chapters, talks about how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returns to Jagannath Puri from Vrindavan, and by his example, by his precepts, he teaches the Vaishnava culture and a great appreciation of all these different devotees.
And then again, in the same 1 to 13 Antya Leela chapters, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu further establishes the spiritual culture by correcting other devotees. He highlights the different dangers of fault finding, and how to actually associate with devotees without any kind of prejudices. How to do that, how to actually have good Vaishnava relationship is also focused here in these first 13 chapters of the Antya Leela.
And then the next 6 chapters, he is talking about how Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu was completely intoxicated. He started doing Nirjan Bhajan in seclusion. His feelings of separation from Krishna started manifesting more and more, and he was completely intoxicated in the love of God. In the final 20th chapter,
Lord Chaitanya, concludes with the 8 prayers of the Shikshashtakam, which is the only written prayers that Gauranga Mahaprabhu has left us with, which is the focus. It is the summum bonum of all the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, is there in those 8 verses of instruction, which is given in the form of the Shikshashtakam verses.